Hi, this is the first video for section 4.1 for our class, and we're going to be talking about learning to graph stuff on a plane. And before we get started though, I would like to talk about some of the parts and vocabulary that we need to think about. First of all, this whole piece of square that we're going to work with is called the plane. And it's P-L-A-N-E, like an airplane, not like the Great Plains. What we notice on it is the two perpendicular lines, and the line that goes from left to right and is horizontal, goes sideways, is the x-axis. The line that is vertical and goes up and down is called the y-axis. And the way I used to remember the difference was the fact that the y-axis pointed to the sky, and sky has the word y in it. So that's the basic ways that we're going to use to navigate this plane. We're going to either go sideways or up and down for the moment. Now, another important part is the origin, and that's where the two axes cross, and that's the origin right there. And the other thing that's important when we're talking about just sort of finding our way around the graph, as you can see, is split into 4 sections, and they're called quadrants. And this quadrant is quadrant 1, this one is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. And first of all, notice that they go counterclockwise, and we always seem to refer to them in Roman numerals. Just, I don't know why, but we do. Now, the other thing that's really important when dealing with a graph like this is the fact that each of these steps is a number, just like on the number line we used in the last chapter. And this number line is the same as ones we've used, or sometimes we did things vertically. When you combine the two of them, you have this kind of a coordinate plane. And if I want to talk about a particular location on the plane, I do it by using something called an ordered pair. Now, if I choose, like I close my eyes and pick a spot, I'm going to pick that spot right there. That's a specific location on my graph. There is no other place on the graph that is exactly there. So I have to be pretty specific in giving you directions how to get there. So the first thing I do is I'm going to tell you how many steps right or left from 0. This is 0, 0. 0 steps up and down, 0 steps right and left. 0, 0 is the origin. So here I have a spot that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. So I'm going to say that it's, first I'm going to do the x value, because the ordered pair looks like this, x and y. So my x value was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my y value was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6 is the address of this particular point on my graph, and that's how we say where it's located. If I have another point that's here, for instance, this would be, first I'm going to look at my x, and here's 0, and if I'm going this way, these are negative numbers and these are positive. So this will be negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down, so negative 1. And that is the specific address for that particular point. Now, the other thing to remember here, I have to get a completely different color since this is so significant. If these are all positive and these are all negative, these are all positive and these are all negative. So what that tells you, and this is kind of important, that any ordered pair that's in this quadrant, quadrant number 1, will be positive, positive. Positive x, positive y. If I come to quadrant number 2, I read my x first, so that would be a negative and a positive. In quadrant 3, it would be negative for x, negative for y. And if I come to quadrant 4, it will be positive for x, negative for y.